My juvenile rheumatoid arthritis is systemic, so it attacks my whole entire body, not just my joints. It attacks my digestive system, so I don't absorb nutrients, so I have to receive my nutrients through a tube. It attacks my nervous system and doesn't allow certain neurotransmitters into my brain. And then it attacks my spinal cord. So I am not able to be upright for too long or carry anything heavy. I can't go in the pool or really anything that you would consider normal. I have to be flat a lot.
These are an example of her maintenance meds that she takes every day. All sorts of different drugs, from painkillers. She's on non-stop antibiotics, different drugs for cardiac conditions, digestive conditions, as well as her arthritis, sore joints, sore bones, etc. So she's on, as I said, 23 different maintenance drugs. We keep a list. We're nervous of her coming off the chemotherapy, but being on the chemotherapy is just as dangerous. We're slowly frying her organs, and we know that. Her doctors have come up with some suggestions, but they're all very risky suggestions. They all require going into be hospitalized or the ICU. And that's where Sarah and I looked at each other about the decision of going the stem cell route. I thought, we have stem cells that are your own cells that we're putting back into you versus drugs that are basically poisoning you and killing you.
And after seeing Tekraball, I have a lot more of a relief seeing how he did and also going down with him. A lot more comforting than, us going alone because we're so close with them. Once you identify another person with this disease, you immediately feel a connection with them. It's like an unbreakable bond.
When I see Sarah sick, I feel bad for her because she has juvenile stomach arthritis just like me, but she's sick and she has to have a cord connected to her.
We'll be there 8 days and we'll be getting 3 treatments. That's correct.
And 600 million stem cells. Sounds like a lot, but we've done our research, and the other stem cell options, aren't pure and don't have the ability to be able to put in millions and millions of stem cells. They have such small little quantities that it's not even worth bothering. And so...
you have to destroy your immune system first.
Yes, to do this, versus there's no harm being done to Sarah. It's just putting her own stem cells back in her body so that it can go to the places that it needs to heal. Our understanding is it only takes about an hour. It's pretty quick and easy, and that's it. Celtechs have been incredibly kind, thorough. They've told us that they'll be meeting us at the airport in Mexico. We'll be taken to the hotel. We'll be picked up the next morning from the hotel and taken over to the hospital, all by Celtech's people. And we really feel safe in their hands. Wouldn't you agree, Sarah? Our passports are all ready for Mexico. We're very excited about that. We don't go anywhere because traveling is difficult, and then we always worry if we're away from doctors or Sarah catches something. She's very susceptible to germs.
My hopes are just at least one thing, really any improvement. I don't really hope for like a vast improvement, just any improvement. Energy, eating, like being able to eat and absorb it would be nice. Like to lose the tube would be great.
The trip was easier than I even had hoped for or anticipated. It started right as we were checking in with the TSA agents who hand-walked us through. They took us all the way to the gate. Sarah was wheelchaired onto the aeroplane. They put Sarah in a wonderful seat so that it was really easy for her. Usually when one travels, it's like you arrive at the airport and then it's the hassle of getting there. And this was just, we came off the airplane and there they were waiting for us with big smiles. And everyone, of course, was thrilled to bits to see Takabo and Sarah and Rita. And it was really like we were coming home to family. So here we are in Mexico and Sarah was wrapped up like an Eskimo. But we're excited, aren't you, Sarah?
I'm excited.
Are you feeling nervous?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to get it done.
So hands together. Positive thoughts. Love you guys. Positive thoughts.
Well, you know, after we're done with infusion, we're gonna go to the beach.
Okay. Well, we can try that. We'll see how I feel.
Sarah brought her hat, her beach hat.
I don't have a beach hat.
We'll share.
Well, I do have swimming shoes.
So Sarah, I brought your stem cells, okay? So what we usually do here is you need to check that the name on the label and the date of birth is correct, okay? So that will make sure this is your own stem cells. And every syringe has your name and your date of birth also, so we make sure that those are your stem cells. When you finish your hydration, Dr. Salazar is going to do the stem cell infusion. So that'll last 1 hour. We will be very careful.
Okay.
Thank you very much. How exciting.
Okay, you ready?
Look at that smile. I haven't seen Sarah smile like that in a long time.
Going into the infusion, I was hoping just for, just maybe one of my, maybe a little bit of energy, maybe food, just, one little, just one thing, just help for one thing. And after infusion, we've already helped with 3 things. I'm walking better, I have more energy, and I'm eating. So, and that's after 1 infusion and 1 day. So that's already surpassed my expectations. I don't really remember a time that I've had a feeling where I've actually wanted to eat.
Lindsay was right, and I kept saying, Lindsay, why didn't I believe you? And Lindsay was saying to me, it's because you've had 23 years of the old mindset. 23 years of putting poison into Sarah's body to try and stop the onslaught of antibodies. And this isn't a poison, this isn't a drug, it's Sarah's own cells being put back into her. At our house, we have our own pool. Just to get Sarah to our pool is a big event in our back garden. And yet here we are, walking down to the beach here today. That shows to me the huge improvement. I always thought I'd given birth to a shy child. And lately, Sarah's missed Chatterbox and laughing, giggling. And I asked Sarah about it, and do you remember, Sarah, when you said, Mum, it wasn't that I was shy. If I looked invisible, I hoped people wouldn't ask me questions because I didn't have the energy to answer them. We deliberately bred this big boy for Sarah. Sarah trained him, but then her health really started to fail her. So we had him turned out with some teenagers that were taking him to shows and riding him. Once Sarah became well enough to ride my horse, that's where we talked about perhaps we should bring Sterling Bridge home. And here he is. I used to have to go in at midnight, at 2 a.m, and check Sarah. And my biggest thing was I was checking she was still breathing. And I have a good night's sleep now. Very good night's sleep. Sarah's like the celebrity at the medical center. Yeah. They all want to talk to the girl that had stem cells, and they're all amazed. Most people think Sarah's grown taller, and it's because either they haven't seen her upright, vertical, they've only seen her horizontal, or they haven't seen her, she was so hunched over in pain they haven't seen her stand straight.
One of my doctors, we went and they'd heard through the grapevine that I had had stem cells. Opened the door and was like, "What did you do?" They just kept saying.
And you were sitting upright.
And I was sitting upright. And
you had the sparkle in your
I
eye.
know.
And you had colors in
and
your
I was
cheeks.
smiling and I had color. And they just kept asking, "Well, what are you on?" "I don't understand." And we're like, "No, I had stem cells." One of the first things that the stem cells helped was my digestive system's working. I'm eating all of my meals during the day. I'm eating everything, basically every type of food, every kind of food that I want to eat.
She's been continuous feed for so long. Sarah didn't know what hunger pains were.
And I kept getting worried, like, "Oh no, there's something wrong with me. I have a headache. I don't feel well. I'm getting dizzy. My heart's fluttering. There's something seriously wrong with me. I think I'm dying." No, I was hungry. My life was in my bed. And now I'm actually having a life and going out and about. My worst day now is better than my very best day of how it used to be. We're the only young people to have received the stem cells. I think it's made our relationship a bunch stronger, and we identify with each other so much better. I mean, Tucker, Bo, and I are so much closer. I always used to describe myself before as a shell of a human being. I lacked so much energy and I lacked so much life that I didn't feel like there was anything inside of me. I just felt like, I looked like a walking skeleton. I just felt like there was just really nothing in me. And now I feel like, I have a personality, and I feel like, there's not really a good way to say this, but there's me.